speed. Dr. Ben, how long have you been a therapist?
About 12 years.
And what do you enjoy about being a psychologist?
Giving people the right advice about anything they want to hear about.
Do you consider yourself to be sensitive and empathetic?
No.
How do you help your clients solve their own problems?
I always tell them to face what they have to face your fears, or face anything that you want to accomplish in your life.
And have you ever had a client that was difficult to diagnose or difficult to help?
Always.
And what do you do in that situation?
I calm them down. If that doesn't work, I'll bring another therapist to come and help me.
In your own life, what was your favorite childhood memory?
Playing with my little sister.
So you're still close to your sister?
Always.
And what does your sister do?
She's a doctor now.
Oh, in what area?
In the hospital.
Oh, okay. And have you ever been in love?
No.
No. Would you like to be?
Yes.
Okay. And what makes you angry?
When I get into my fist fights with my father.
And what happens in order for these fights to ensue?
He will beat me up. He's mentally not that great, so he beats me up.
So he's been physically abusive?
Yes.
And does your mother intervene?
She left us about 2 years ago.
Okay. And you don't want to cut off your relationship with your father?
I don't.
Could you get your father help?
Yeah.
What would make you happiest?
If my sister can talk to the father.
Oh, okay. Vidi, you run a family in New York, but things have been difficult lately, yes? You've had
Yes.
trouble with anxiety.
Yes, I have really had bad trouble with anxiety.
And what started it?
How it started is since I was like a gangster in New York, I was really frustrated. I was like robbing some stores, trying to steal things away that I really, really like. And that's how I got anxiety.
Okay. Were you close to your father? I know your father passed away. He was shot in front of you as a child.
Yes.
Was that, that must have been very traumatic for you.
It was. Since I really, really loved my father, that since he passed away, I was like crying out loud on his stomach of tears, and this is why I had anxiety, and that's why I couldn't get a therapist to stop me, and I was like acting like something changed into me.
Now, the fact that you're going to therapy now, some people say that the other families in New York are going to think that you're weak. Do you think that you're weak?
Probably, but in order to not get too weak, is a therapist would help me.
Okay. What makes you angry?
What makes me angry is changing things like everywhere around the planet, especially like when they change the city buildings, like putting new stuff into it, which I wanted to keep the old style of the city, but what makes me angry is cities change a little bit.
Have you ever killed anyone?
Not really, because I don't have guns. I usually steal things from stores, and they call the police, and they have consequences with me.
And what were those consequences? Have you ever done time in jail?
Yes, I've went to jail for a few days in prison, and I was out of prison on those kind of days.
Okay.
But I should stop being in prison.
And are you married?
No, not at all. Not for the first time. I haven't been married for the first time.
Okay. And do you think, considering your line of work, that you could have a family? I mean, be married and have kids?
I would love to have a family after when I get so much better after talking to a therapist and try to know that I should stop being a bad guy and I would love to change into a normal guy.
Do you think of yourself as a good person even though your line of work is not so great?
Yes.
So you're a good human being.
Yes, I am.
Okay. And how do you want to be remembered when you pass away? What do you want people to say about you?
How I want them to remember me is I would love to see how sweet I was after being a bad guy. Because they would love to know how sweet I was to my kids if I had a daughter or a son, which they would be adorable. How I would go see movies, go to events with them, and play with them. They would love to remember how sweet I am while I'm in heaven.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Ben, how do you want to be remembered?
I remember by showing love and how I help people through every advice. I want people to remember me as who I am exactly.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lillian, how long have you known Annie?
Feels like all my life, but about, I would say, 10 years.
Okay. And have you always told her all your secrets?
Yes,
Yeah.
all of them.
So she really knows you better than maybe anybody else?
Absolutely.
What do you love most about your friend Annie?
She's so strong. She is the strongest person I know, and she can go through so much.
Explain.
She's not in the best of positions right now.
And why is that?
Life isn't so hot for her, you could say. But she goes through it. She's very resilient, even though she might think she's a mess.
So you have faith in her that's
Oh,
going
yes.
to turn around?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I hear you're getting married.
I am.
So tell me about Dougie. What do you love most about him?
Personality.
Yeah?
Yes.
Does he make you laugh?
He does. He does.
Are you a little nervous about getting married?
I'm more nervous that it's not going to work out.
Oh,
That it's not going to be perfect.
the wedding or the marriage?
More the wedding.
Oh.
More the wedding.
Because you have two friends, Annie and your
Helen.
yeah,
Helen.
and Helen are sort of
Yes.
competing to be the
They're my best friends.
yeah. But there's been some tension.
There has. There has. It's been pretty rough. Oh.
What's your greatest, happiest childhood memory?
My happiest childhood memory would be when I got my first doll.
And what doll was that?
It was the sweetest American Girl doll.
Oh.
It was. And I remember having her, and she would sleep with me. She would sit on my dresser. And I loved her. I loved her. She was my best friend until I met Annie, of course.
And what are you most afraid of?
Losing everybody close to me. I'm afraid of my wedding right now. I'm afraid of my wedding just becoming a mess. Not getting married. Losing my best friends, both of them.
What can you do to stop a disaster from happening? What do you think you have to do?
I don't know right now. I'm still trying to figure that out.
And was Dougie your first kiss?
No. My first kiss was younger.
How old?
14, 15. It was more of like a I haven't done this, neither have you, maybe we'll get it over with kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Do you remember his name?
Nate.
Nate?
Yes.
Okay.
I remember almost everything.
Okay. Annie, I know things have been tough for you, and but what do you love most about Lillian as a friend?
She's just such a good person. She always puts everyone else first, and I just really admire that.
And what do you think about Helen?
she's kind of the worst, you know? She just like thinks she's better than everybody, and you know, she's just like walking around like, hey, I have a job and a house, and like I can afford sushi on a Tuesday, you know, like that kind of person. She's fine.
Now, I hear you're going out with a deputy or something.
I mean, I wouldn't really call it that.
What about your other boyfriend?
I wouldn't call it that either. You know, it's just
What exactly is it?
we just kind of
Recreational sex?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And you were okay with that?
Yeah. I mean, it's what I have right now.
Do you think you can trust a man? Given your history?
I'd like to. I'd like to. I don't think I can right now.
Now, you're an exceptional baker and
Thanks.
pastry chef. So, what is your favorite dessert that you make?
I have these cupcakes so they're chocolate, and then I kind of hollow out the inside and I fill it with this like chocolate mousse sort of thing, and then I put the cap back on, like the top of the cupcake, and then I frost it. It's really good.
Have you had it?
Oh yeah.
That's
yes.
really good.
Many times.
What's your greatest fear?
My greatest fear is probably just pushing everybody away.
And why do you think you do that?
I think I just tend to mess things up.
Do you not feel that you're good enough?
Yeah.
But you have a supportive mother and you have your friends.
I know, but like, what if they're not there one day? What if they give up?
Do you think you're that hard or difficult to put up with?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Lillian, how do you want to be remembered?
As a great friend, great mother, and a loving wife. Someone who made a difference to the people that knew me.
Annie, how about you?
I want to be remembered as somebody who got back up when she fell down.
Well, that takes a lot of courage. And you have courage. And Lillian believes in you.
I do.
Okay. Thank you very much.